So what kind of system do you guys use here?
We assess care on a points-based system. They are charged over a month of care received.
Why do you do that?
Instead of having an all-inclusive system, we prefer to do point system because every resident can be assessed on their individual needs. And for us, that means that a resident can come in on zero care, not receiving anything but the basic services of medication management and oversight, 24-hour nurse on site still, and rapid response, but may not be receiving incontinence care or showering or anything of that kind. It also allows for every specific resident to have a plan that is tailored directly to their needs. And because that tailoring goes on, families are really only ever paying for what a specific resident is receiving.
So what kind of stuff gets a point?
Anything that goes above and beyond with a one-on-one with a care partner. Typically you'll see things like bathing assistance, and that can be anything from standby to full showering assistance. We have incontinence is very common, something that may be minor with reminding about incontinence or assisting in making sure a resident is cleaning up property, all the way to full assistance. And things like queuing and escorting for the dementia side.
Is there a maximum amount of points I can get?
We have a range really for assisted living type of points that goes from, again, 0 up to about 1,200, and that's for really standard assisted living services. 1,200 is really getting into somebody who requires assistance with just about everything throughout the day. Now we do have a second bracket specific to the Fremont that will include things that dive a little bit more into the skilled nature of the assistance. We'll accept things like feeding tubes, ostomies even, and really skilled issues, even things like wound care that are within certain stages or within our scope of being able to care for. And because those are skilled, they're not common assisted living type of tasks, we'll look at those separate from the standard kind of point system.
Okay. So you said the points are charged monthly?
They are, and what we do is, in a lot of ways, look at them all the way down to a daily basis, where I think they make really the most sense. If you have, let's say, queuing and escorting, it's really common, a little bit of dementia, this is a new environment. Queuing and escorting is assistance to and from everything throughout a day, to and from meals, to and from activities, and it's somebody who actually walks with a resident, that's the escorting portion of course, back and forth. That's 11 points, and we do $8 a point, making that, of course, $88 a month. If you take that down to a daily rate, we're talking about under $3 a day. And I think that's where it really makes the most sense. Every single day, somebody going with a resident at that rate. There's a couple other things I think that are really important with the point system. Well, go ahead and ask your question, and we'll get into that.
So, if my points change, will you notify me if a point gets changed?
Actually, yeah, that's exactly where I was going. So what happens, and I think one of the best parts about the point system is, as important as it is for us to develop an individualized service plan, it's a state requirement. Ultimately, that's a document we use in-house to plan the care for a resident. What the point system really does, and my favorite part of it, is because we're all financially tied to the point system, we really have an investment in communicating about every resident's level of care. And that's from us to a family, and from the family to us. So we'll never, ever change points without the communication, and we call that a cost of care communication, and a review of the new assessment. When you go through the care plan, we go through what are residents receiving in terms of the points, the overview of those points, and then going one step further, We have our wellness director's notes on what that care really means. And in order to move forward with it, we sign with the wellness director, the executive director, and then our family member who's a responsible party. It might be the resident, it might be an adult child, but there's always those 3 signatures on the final cost of care.
Okay. I think that answers all my questions.
All right.
Thank you very much.